Aliens would whisper about the human who bought a worthless ship for 6 credits and used it to rewrite expectations of bravery, ingenuity, and power. Traders began to watch human crews differently. Military commanders studied human tactics. Even pirates learned to fear the unpredictable, relentless spirit of humanity. And somewhere in the galaxy, Elias Draven and his crew sailed the stars, ready for the next challenge, because the galaxy never stops testing humans. And humans never stop answering. Final words. The worthless armored cruiser was no longer worthless. It was a symbol, a warning, and a reminder that value is not always measured in credits or size, but in courage, creativity, and determination. Captain Elias Draven looked at his crew one last time before heading into the unknown. Humans, he said, don't need luck. We make our own. And with that, the cruiser vanished into the stars, leaving a galaxy forever changed by 6 credits, a few bold humans, and the undeniable proof that nothing was impossible for them. From it emerged representatives from multiple galactic powers, military envoys, diplomats, and even former pirate lords. Captain Draven once said, a Grellic commander with armor scuffed from old wars, we underestimated humans. We now seek alliance, not as masters or slaves, but as equals. Will you join our coalition? Elias studied them carefully. Humans did not rush into alliances lightly, but this was a moment that could shape the sector. We will help, he said, but on our terms. We do not bow. We do not kneel. Humans stand, and we act. The aliens blinked. Respect, genuine and wary, shone in their eyes. Humans had earned it, not through fear, not through threats, but through action. Reflection. That night, the cruiser floated quietly in the dark. Stars reflected across its polished hull, scarred but beautiful. Elias stood on the bridge, looking at the galaxy beyond. 6 credits, he said softly, thinking back to the auction. 6 credits, for what everyone called worthless. And now, look at it. Look at us. Captain, do you think the galaxy will ever forget this? Elias smiled. They won't, but that's fine. Humans don't act for fame. We act because we have to, because we can. And sometimes that's enough to change everything. The AI spoke calmly from the console. Captain, probability analysis suggests humans' reputation has increased exponentially across the sector. Exponential. Elias repeated with a grin. Good, but let them fear us a little. Or maybe just respect us. That works too. The crew laughed quietly. They were tired, yes, but they were proud. Every dent in the hull, every burned panel, every improvisation in combat told a story. And the story was simple. Humans never give up. Humans never quit. Humans find ways when others see walls. Legacy. In the following weeks, the armored cruiser became legendary. Stories spread faster than trade ships could carry them. They were forces to be reckoned with. Reputation spreads. By the next morning, news networks across the sector were filled with footage of the battle. Every trader, military commander, and pirate lord had seen it. Analysts tried to explain it, but even the most logical reports could not account for a single ship defeating 32 enemies. This changes everything, a military strategist said on a hollow screen. Humans cannot be ignored. And Elias? He walked through the port as if he owned nothing and everything at the same time. Traders tried to offer him deals, scientists wanted to study his ship, and military fleets sent requests for cooperation. Mara nudged him. Captain, you realize they're going to ask for everything now? Elias laughed. Let them ask. We decide what to give. Humans don't trade freedom for credit. Their captain was right. Humanity's strength was not in wealth or power. It was in choice. Offers and choices. Within hours, the offers came in. The Zorvik System Trade Council offered a fleet upgrade, hoping to recruit Elias and his crew. A secretive alien research consortium wanted the cruiser for study, promising technology exchanges. Several wealthy merchants tried to buy the ship outright, offering sums that would dwarf anything a human could imagine. But Elias remained firm. This ship belongs to its crew, he said. It is more than metal and circuits. It's proof that humans can defy odds. No one owns that but us. Even if it could buy 100 ships? Elias nodded. Even then, we don't let money decide our path. Humans choose courage over credits every time. Unexpected visitors. Later that evening, as the crew celebrated quietly on the cruiser, a mysterious ship approached the station. Sleek, black, and almost invisible, it docked silently. Its scars told a story, but its presence spoke louder. This was a vessel that had faced the impossible and survived. Captain Elias Draven stood at the bridge window, arms crossed, watching the spaceport below. Traders and officials were already gathering, their chatter a mix of fear, curiosity, and grudging respect. The entire sector had heard the story. A single human cruiser had destroyed a pirate armada, 32 ships strong. They're going to recognize us, Kira said, wide-eyed as the ship descended. I think even the Greylacs are scared now. Good. Let them be scared. Let them know what humans can do. Mara rolled her eyes but smiled. Or, at least, impressed enough to stop calling us reckless fools. The cruiser touched down in the main landing bay. Automated gates opened, revealing the port authorities, alien dignitaries, and curious traders. Cameras floated overhead, recording every moment. For the first time, humans would not hide in the shadows. The crowd reacts. As the ramp lowered, a hush fell over the hall. Every alien, from tall Shurians to armored Kranters, stared at the 6-credit cruiser. The ship's reputation had preceded it. Whispers ran through the crowd. Did one ship really destroy an entire pirate fleet? It cannot be. Not possible. But Elias and his crew stepped down calmly. They were humans, and calm was their armor. An alien official approached, tentacles twitching nervously. Captain Draven, your actions in the Kragan Nebula. Extraordinary. How did you? Elias interrupted gently, raising his hand. It wasn't magic. It was us. Humans don't rely on luck. We rely on courage, teamwork, and a refusal to give up. That's all it took. The official blinked, unsure whether to be impressed or insulted by the simplicity, but the murmurs in the hall grew louder. The story had reached everyone, and humans were no longer reckless underdogs. And to anyone who thinks humans are weak, remember this day. He ended the transmission. Aftermath on distant worlds. Alien leaders watched the footage. Military commanders replayed battle recordings again and again. How did they move like that? That weapon system violates tactical logic. They should have lost. Because humans did not fight by alien logic. They fought with creativity, with courage, with madness, sometimes. But it worked. Back on Varix, 9, the same auction hall that once laughed at Elias was silent. The traders stared at the battle footage projected above them. 6 credits had bought the most dangerous ship in the sector. On the bridge, the cruiser floated quietly now. Damaged crews repaired minor hull cracks. Kira leaned against the wall, breathing heavily. We actually did it. 32 ships, this ship shouldn't even exist. Elias looked around at his crew. Tired, burned, victorious. It exists because we believed it could, he said softly. He placed his hand on the console. They called it worthless, but humans know something the galaxy forgets. Kira looked up. What's that, Captain? Elias smiled. Nothing is worthless if a human refuses to give up on it. The AI processed the statement for a moment. Conclusion, it said. Human determination remains the most unpredictable and powerful force observed. Elias laughed lightly. You're learning. The galaxy was changing, and every alien race now understood one important truth. Never underestimate a human, especially not one who just turned 6 credits into a legend. The stars of Varix, 9 glimmered as the cruiser returned. Once battered and mocked, the ship now bore marks of battle, gleaming panels, and newly installed systems. Captain, we can't take another volley like that. Elias did not panic. He smiled. Activate phase shift. The AI responded instantly. Experimental system online. For a brief second, the ship shimmered. The second pirate volley passed directly through it. The pirates froze in disbelief. It disappeared. No, Elias said quietly. We adapted. The phase shift was an unfinished human prototype. Dangerous, unstable, but humans had tested it anyway. Because humans did not fear risk. Turning the tide. With pirate weapons cooling down, Elias saw the opening. Target heavy cruiser engines. Locked. Fire everything. The cruiser unleashed a focused energy beam, combining every system into one narrow blast. It pierced through the heavy cruiser's engine core. Silence, then explosion. The massive pirate flagship broke apart in bright fire. Shock spread across the battlefield. Their strongest ship was gone, destroyed by a worthless cruiser bought for 6 credits. Panic began to spread through pirate ranks. Retreat, fall back, cut off escape vectors, he ordered. The AI calculated paths instantly. The cruiser moved like a predator now, striking at fleeing ships, disabling engines, forcing surrender. Within minutes, what had been a terrifying armada became drifting wreckage and captured vessels. 32 pirate ships. Gone. The broadcast trade ships hiding behind the asteroid field slowly came out. Their crews stared in disbelief. A single human cruiser floated among the ruins of an entire pirate fleet. Elias opened a wide communication channel across the sector. His face appeared on screens everywhere. This is Captain Elias Draven, he said calmly. To every trader, every colony, every world afraid of pirates. He paused. The threat is gone, already launching. Small metal spheres shot out from hidden compartments along the cruiser's hull. They spread out in different directions, copying the ship's energy signature. On pirate sensors, it looked like 10 human ships instead of 1. Confusion spread through the pirate fleet. Commander, multiple human vessels detected. Zorvik slammed his fist on the console. Impossible. But it was not impossible. It was human. Elias turned to the AI. Ready the surprise? Deep inside the cruiser, hidden weapon systems powered up. Systems the aliens had ignored. Systems designed by humans long ago. Charged, the AI confirmed. The pirates opened fire first. Plasma bolts filled space like angry stars. Elias moved fast. Full thrust, spiral pattern. The cruiser twisted sharply, engines roaring. No alien ship moved like that. Alien ships followed clean lines and careful angles. Humans embraced chaos. The cruiser dove between asteroids, using debris as shields. Pirate shots hit rocks instead of metal. Return fire, Elias shouted. Modified turrets fired in perfect timing, not simple blasts, layered energy waves mixing frequencies together. The first pirate ship lost shields instantly. The second ship's weapons exploded from inside due to feedback overload. Pirates screamed over open channels. What is that weapon? It's not standard tech. Of course it wasn't. Aliens improved technology carefully. Humans experimented wildly. The hidden core. Zorvik's heavy cruiser moved forward. It was 3 times larger than Elias's ship. Thick armor, massive cannons. Focus fire on the human vessel, Zorvik ordered. All 30 ships aimed at once. The sky turned bright with destruction. Shields dropping! Mara shouted. 40%! The cruiser shook violently. Hull plates cracked. Sparks flew across the bridge. Kira grabbed her seat, but deep inside the Kragan Nebula, the truth was moving quietly through space. Captain Elias Draven stood on the bridge of the armored cruiser, watching the stars twist into lines as they exited hyperspace. The ship still looked old and scarred from the outside. Paint was chipped. Hull plates were uneven. Engines hummed with a rough sound. But inside it was alive. Captain, the AI said calmly. Multiple signals detected ahead. Larger fleet than previous encounter. Mara looked at the sensor screen. Her face became serious. That's not 14 ships, she said quietly. That's a full pirate armada. How many? Dirty 2 confirmed, the AI replied, including 3 heavy cruisers. Silence filled the bridge. 32 ships. 3 heavy cruisers. Even a military fleet would think twice before fighting that. Kira swallowed. Captain, this isn't a warm-up anymore. Elias stood up slowly. His expression did not show fear, only focus. Good, he said. Now we see what this ship can really do. The trap armada was gathering near an important trade route. Hundreds of cargo ships were hiding behind a nearby asteroid field, too afraid to move. The pirates were preparing to strike, and they were laughing. On the pirate flagship, the leader, a massive armored alien named Zorvik, watched the incoming signal of Elias's cruiser. "The human again," Zorvik growled. "The one who destroyed our patrol?" One of his officers nodded. "Yes, Commander." "Same energy signature, same damaged cruiser." Zorvik laughed loudly. "Good. I will crush him myself." To the pirates, it was simple. One damaged human ship versus 32 pirate vessels. The outcome was obvious. But humans rarely followed obvious outcomes. Human strategy. Back on the cruiser, Elias gave fast orders. Mara, reroute extra power to engines. Done. Kira, prepare decoy drones. Captain, humans' approach is unconventional but highly effective. Probability of victory exceeded all initial calculations. Good. Let them call us reckless. Let them call us weak. The galaxy doesn't know us yet, but they will. As the cruiser glided further from the Kragan Nebula, Elias plotted their next course. Reports of the battle were spreading faster than he had hoped. Alien trade networks buzzed with rumors. A single human ship had bested an entire pirate fleet. Some called it impossible, others insane, but all were curious. That's the thing about humans, Elias said to the crew. We don't just survive, we make legends. And somewhere deep inside the cruiser, the AI recorded every movement, every improvisation, and every daring tactic. Its core systems, designed by humans for humans, stored the knowledge for the next battle. The ship was more than just metal and energy. It was a testament to what humans could accomplish when no one believed in them. The stars ahead were dark and full of danger, but Elias felt no fear. For the first time, he knew that the worthless cruiser was not just a ship. It was a weapon, a home, and a symbol. And with this crew, he could face anything the galaxy threw at them. Set course for the Zorvik system, he said, leaning back in his chair. It's time to see just how much the galaxy underestimates humans. The cruiser responded with a hum, almost as if it agreed. Outside, the blackness of space stretched endlessly. Inside, humans thrived where others would fail. And this was only the beginning. The news spread faster than light. Across trade stations, military outposts, and pirate dens, one message repeated again and again. A human, one ship. 14 pirates destroyed. Most aliens refused to believe it. It must be propaganda. Humans exaggerate. No broken cruiser could do that. The old hull creaked and groaned, but held firm. Fire the modified turrets, Elias shouted. Mara's hands moved like lightning. Energy pulses combined with salvaged alien tech shot out in arcs, hitting the nearest pirate vessel. It exploded in a burst of fire and debris. The remaining ships hesitated, shocked. You see, Elias called out, a triumphant grin spreading across his face. They thought we were weak. They thought we were easy prey. They were wrong. The battle became a dance. The cruiser twisted and darted through the asteroid field, using every advantage the human mind could imagine. The AI projected enemy movements, and the crew executed complex maneuvers no alien fleet could predict. One by one, pirate ships fell or fled, unable to understand how a single damaged ship could outsmart them. Even Kira, terrified at first, began shouting orders with the confidence of a veteran. Humans, the AI noted, worked best when thinking creatively under pressure. That unpredictability made them deadly. By the time the last pirate ship turned tail, the worthless cruiser had not a single fatal hit, only minor dents from grazing fire. The crew cheered. The galaxy, at least the part within sensor range, would soon hear of this miracle. After the fight, the crew worked quickly to patch minor damage. Elias walked through the ship, checking on each team member. There was no fear now, only pride. Today we did what no one expected, he said quietly. 14 pirates, one ship. And we survived. We didn't just survive, we defeated them. But how? This ship, it's not the ship, Elias corrected. It's the crew. And it's human ingenuity. Remember this, every alien that laughs at us, they're betting against our brains, our courage, our willingness to risk it all. And every time they do, we prove them wrong. Even the AI seemed to reflect on this, its calm voice almost proud. How many ships? 14 confirmed, more likely unregistered, the AI replied. They are fast, heavily armed, and coordinated. 14 pirate ships were more than any small crew should face. The Kragans were notorious for leaving nothing behind, but Elias only leaned back in his chair, calm as ever. 14? He said aloud. Perfect. That's a good warm-up. Kira gasped. You want to fight them? With this ship? With this crew, yes. And this ship isn't what it seems. The journey toward the Kragan Nebula was tense. Sensors picked up drifting mines, broken communications buoys, and abandoned derelicts, all signs of pirate activity. Every alien intelligence reading would have said, turn back. Humans read it differently. We can use these hazards, Elias told the crew. Maneuver through the debris. They won't expect a broken ship to dance like that. Captain, we'll be pushing her to the limit. The shields may not hold if we take heavy fire. Elias shrugged. Then we improvise. That's what humans do. The first encounter came unexpectedly. 4 pirate ships appeared on the edge of the sensor range, black and jagged, bristling with weapons. Their leader, a hulking alien named Zorvik, seemed to sneer through the comm system. Well, what do we have here? Zorvik's voice rumbled. A lone human in a wreck of a ship? How amusing. Elias activated the cruiser's hidden systems. Panels lit up across the bridge as the AI began calculations in milliseconds, adjusting targeting solutions, shield modulation, and engine output. Targeting systems online, the AI said. Shields at optimal angle. Recommend evasive maneuvers in 3, 2. Before the pirates could react, Elias pushed the engines. The cruiser swerved in a way no alien ship would dare, dodging the first volley of plasma cannons with impossible precision. Kira, the youngest crew member, peeked from behind a stack of cargo crates. Captain, what if the aliens follow us? They're going to want revenge for buying that ship so cheap. Elias smiled faintly, a mix of pride and mischief in his eyes. Let them come. They've only seen what's broken. They haven't seen us. As the cruiser glided through space, the crew began the true work of transformation. They salvaged materials from abandoned satellites, alien debris, and even drifting cargo containers. Each piece was studied, modified, and incorporated into the ship. Engines were reinforced with layers of alloy no alien engineer would have dared use. Shields were adjusted to adapt to multiple energy signatures, something only a human engineer could imagine. Then came the weapon systems. The cruiser's original turrets were old, misaligned, and barely functional. Elias and his crew worked tirelessly, not just repairing them, but redesigning. They integrated alien tech in ways that the aliens themselves would have never considered, combining different energy types to create weapons that could pierce almost any known shield. Captain, Mara said one evening, exhaustion etched into her face. We've done everything we can. I don't know if she'll survive combat yet. Elias stood beside her, looking out at the stars. DME.
Humans don't wait for perfection, Mara.
We make it work. That's the difference. Weeks passed. The cruiser began to feel alive under human hands. It had personality, a rhythm, and even the old AI seemed to awaken more with every system improvement. One night, the AI spoke for the first time since full activation. Its voice was calm, precise, yet almost warm. Captain Draven, it said. Sensors detect unusual activity in the Kragan Nebula. A pirate fleet is moving through nearby trade lanes. Multiple vessels destroyed in the last standard cycle. They are preparing to attack more. Elias's brow furrowed. Finally, the day came to leave Varix. 9. The auction crowd had not forgotten the human who had bought their junk for 6 credits. They gathered to see the cruiser launch, expecting disaster. Elias stood on the bridge, looking at the stars beyond. His crew were ready, tense but confident. "Let's show them," he said. "Humans don't buy worthless things. We make them worth everything." The engines roared to life. Sparks flew, and energy arcs danced across the hull. The cruiser lifted, slowly at first, then surged upward. The aliens gasped. The hull held. The engines, patched and enhanced with human creativity, propelled the ship smoothly into orbit. From the observation decks, the alien traders saw a miracle. The cruiser, once mocked, glided into space as if it had always belonged among the stars. "Impossible," one Grelak whispered. "No ship should survive that." 9 then turned to his crew. "This is just the beginning," he said. "The galaxy thinks we're small, weak, and reckless. They're about to learn the truth." And with that, the worthless armored cruiser disappeared into the black, leaving behind stunned traders, blinking auction screens, and a galaxy that had no idea what was coming. The stars stretched endlessly before the cruiser as it left Varix. 9 behind, Elias Draven sat in the captain's chair, hands resting lightly on the console. The hum of the engines, patched together with human ingenuity, vibrated through the deck. His crew moved efficiently, every hand knowing its role. "This ship still groans too much," Mara muttered, adjusting the conduits on the main engine. Sparks flew, harmless, but alarming to any alien who would have seen it. "If we push her too hard, we might lose more than speed." Elias leaned over her shoulder, studying the readouts. "She's not perfect, but she's ours. And right now, that's enough." But humans had a talent no one else had: creativity, courage, and the ability to turn nothing into everything. By the next morning, the crew began repairs. Mara worked on the engines, improvising parts from salvaged materials. She rigged alien energy cores to power old human fusion drives. Others reinforced the shields using layered alloys, crafting barriers that no alien had thought possible. The alien technicians in the port sneered from afar. "They'll never get it to work," one said. "They'll be stranded before they even reach orbit." He walked the decks, checking on every team, giving advice, encouragement, and small bits of humor to keep morale high. "Remember," he said to the youngest crew member, a human named Kira, "aliens will always underestimate us. That's our advantage. We just have to show them what we can do." Days passed. The cruiser groaned and rattled under the weight of repairs, but gradually it transformed. Exposed conduits became clean energy channels. Broken armor plates were reinforced. The old hull, scarred with centuries of battles, became a symbol of human resilience, a fighter rebuilt by ingenuity and willpower. Then they discovered the AI system. Hidden deep in the ship's core, a faint signal pulsed like a heartbeat. Elias ran diagnostics. "Looks abandoned," Mara said, frowning. "Not abandoned," Elias corrected. "Waiting. Someone designed this for humans who know how to fight, how to survive. How to win when everyone says you can't." With careful guidance, they activated the AI. Lights blinked across the bridge. The system hummed to life, projecting a holographic star map with detailed combat simulations. Its voice was calm, precise, and unmistakably human in design. "Welcome aboard, Captain," it said. Elias grinned. "And welcome to us," he replied. The AI would become the ship's secret weapon, giving them tactical insights no alien could anticipate. Elias stepped forward and placed his bid. 6 credits. The hall erupted into laughter. Tentacles pointed, claws scratched, and wings flapped in disbelief. 6 credits? A Grelak shouted, his voice harsh. "You insult us, human. This ship is worth 1,000 at least." Elias smiled faintly, calm as a still pond. "I said 6, he replied, his voice steady. "And 6 is what I pay." The auctioneer hesitated, scanning the other bidders. No one matched the bid. The glares turned sharper, the whispers louder. "He must be mad," one cantor muttered, "or desperate." As he signed the purchase contract, he glanced at his crew. "Remember," he said quietly, "they only see what's broken. We see what's possible." The cruiser floated silently in the repair bay. Elias's crew approached it, inspecting every dent, scorch mark, and exposed conduit. The aliens who once mocked it had underestimated what humans could do with a machine that most thought useless. Engines are shot, his engineer, Mara said, tapping her datapad. Shields are barely holding, weapon system offline. This ship should not even leave the port. Exactly, Elias said, which is why it will. He climbed up to the bridge, running his hands along the worn control panels. Most of the systems were old, abandoned, or incompatible with current alien standards. But Elias noticed subtle markings. Hidden human engineering codes left by long-lost human engineers who had traveled these sectors centuries ago. These aren't just any designs, he murmured, pointing to the diagrams etched into the hull plating. Someone made this ship to last, to surprise anyone who thinks they know humans. His crew exchanged excited glances. Every human knew the legend. Humans were underestimated everywhere. Other races called them reckless, weak, and primitive. 6 credits for a worthless armored cruiser. What happened next shocked everyone. The auction hall on Varix 9 was buzzing like a swarm of starling drones. Traders, mercenaries, and collectors from dozens of alien worlds crowded the vast space, their strange forms and bright colors flashing under the lights. Screens floated above the main stage, displaying the next item. An armored cruiser, battered and scarred, listed as practically worthless. Look at that rust, a Shurian merchant laughed, her 6 eyes glinting. Who would even bother? Maybe some fool with 6 credits. A Krantor trader snorted, tapping his claw against his datapad. The doors swung open, and a small, unassuming human stepped inside. Captain Elias Draven, mid-30s, with a weathered face and a confident stride, surveyed the hall. His brown eyes lingered on the ship floating in the auction display bay. It was massive, even in its broken state. Its hull bented, its paint peeling, and its engines exposed as if scavenged from a dozen different ships. Most would see only junk. Elias saw opportunity. He adjusted the straps of his cargo harness, feeling the hum of his energy pistol at his side. Worth 6 credits, he murmured. Or maybe 100, if you know what to do with it. Elias's crew followed him, a small, efficient group of humans he had raised and trained himself. They were the kind of people who could fix a ship with duct tape and courage, who could fight a dozen enemies with nothing but wit and bravery. They whispered among themselves, sharing glances of excitement. They trusted Elias's instincts, even if the rest of the galaxy thought he was crazy. The auctioneer, a tall, tentacled Zorvian, waved its multiple arms. 6, 7, 8 credits, it droned in a mechanical voice. The bids rose slowly, then faltered. The alien bidders looked at each other nervously, sensing that the ship's value was almost imaginary.